Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Seat Automotive Podcast. Your buddy CJ here, talking about all things automotive industry, the hobby, the car scene, and just thrilled to be talking to you today. First things first, I got to address the critical item in the live here on the recording, and that's my Christmas sweater. And the Christmas sweater game is strong here, and stop hating. But in all seriousness, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody out there. I love you guys. I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm super excited for Christmas. I can't believe it's Christmas. I'm like Elf. You know what I'm saying? That's how your buddy CJ is. I get excited. And how many blessings? Are you kidding me? I know I'm spending this holiday. As you can tell, I'm not at my normal home setup. I'm at a different undisclosed location. The hidden underground location. But no, in all seriousness, folks, just so many blessings. And one of our blessings I want to talk about today, super important. Let's get into this. This is one, guys, I'm passionate about this one. I'm serious about this one. And I'm about to give you some big facts, all right, about the car community we need to talk about, and the time is now. The time is now. Some things have to be said. And you may not agree with me. That's okay. We can disagree and we can still be friends. But I want to say some things and I'd love to hear your reaction. Leave your comments. I just want you to know I'm coming from a position of love and caring and commitment for this hobby we have. The automotive hobby, the car scene, if you want to call it that. And I'm talking to you, Charlotte, Atlanta, Orlando, Chicago, Los Angeles, everywhere in between. There's a few things we got to talk about, and let's look ahead. Let's move forward. Keep moving forward, onward and upward, talking about making the car scene better in 2024. Let me be blunt. First things first, we need to stop ruining our own hobby and stop destroying the reputation of automotive enthusiasts, car guys. Let's stop it. For 2024, your boy CJ wants you to make a resolution. Because you know what? I'm all in on this. I'm all in if you're all in, and we should all be in. Let's make a commitment to make the car scene better, to improve the reputation. Listen, I'll be blunt. It's not about me. I'm of a certain age. I've been doing this car scene thing for 40 years in various, since the time I was a very young man. Okay? Some of you guys are young men and women. The next generation coming up and the next generation behind them. We want the hobby to continue to thrive in your city, in my city. From sea to shining sea. We don't want the opinion of property owners, of law enforcement, of politicians, of the community at large that, car meets, car shows, no way, can't do it anymore. Liability, bad activity, potentially criminal activity, dangerous traffic situations. Stop it. We need to stop it. And leaders got to lead, folks. Is my message terse? Is my message harsh? Then I might be talking to you. If you don't like my message and you want to call me an old head or whatever you want to say, that's fine. But the reason you probably don't like my message is because it's hitting home. Real talk. And I'm sincere. And I care about you guys as I would care about my own kids. Yeah, it's true. And you should care too. Couple things. I want to talk to two audiences today. I want to talk to the young men and women in this hobby. And I want to talk to the organizers, the leaders, because leaders got to lead. I'm talking to you, event organizers. I'm not going to call anybody out explicitly. But you want to run the big event? You want to start a following? You're anybody. It could be a dealership. It could be an individual. It could be other host, other entity hosting an event, a chain of events, a franchise of events, you do it right. You don't do it half-assed. And you don't put your head in the sand. You don't put your head in the sand when things go wrong. You take a stand. You gotta. Leaders gotta lead. In the car scene, we need leadership right now. We don't need more events going off the chain. We don't need more videos of your event in your city going viral, getting 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 views, 7 figures views across the country of takeovers, burnouts, donuts, damage to property, people getting hurt, wrecked cars. You know what, guys? You can laugh at that. You can say anything you want about that. But real facts, if nobody's told you this lately, you're destroying the hobby. You're ruining the reputation of your business or your entity that's running the event. You're putting lives and property in jeopardy, in peril. You know what that means in the business world, for those that don't know? Liability. You think they want a bunch of cars, people coming in there doing stupid things? How long do you think that's going to last? Well, the results are self-evident. The results are in. You're going to get kicked out of your location. It's happened. Stick around the car scene long enough. Meat gets big enough without reasonable controls and leadership. That's the message of the day. Leadership. Being willing to do what others will not. You know what happens? The meeting gets killed. The meat gets killed. The meat gets canceled. You lose your spot. You get sued. Lawyer up. Lawsuit time. Liability. You think property owners, investment firms want us showing up when there's steady bad things happening in the broader community? We're never going to be perfect. It's too diverse and large of a population. Certainly where I live, where you live, across the country, of course, nothing's perfect. No public event series is ever perfect. Having said that, when you put your head in the sand as an organizer and you don't do what's right, shame on you. I'll call you out. Call me. You want to talk about it? Leave me a comment. Let's talk about it in a positive way, moving forward to do the right thing. I'll help any of you out. And you know what? Here's the thing. You don't need my help. A lot of you are smart men and women and businesses that are doing these things, but you're putting your heads in the sand. Real talk. Leaders gotta lead. So that's one key message today. You want to keep this thing we have? You want your event to grow and thrive in your city? Any city, USA. Could be Charlotte, could be Orlando, could be Palm Beach, could be Los Angeles, could be Chicago, could be up in Massachusetts. Do it right, event organizers, or don't do it at all. Now, that means a few things. There's going to be some expenses involved. Doing the right thing is not the easiest thing. If it was that easy, everybody would do it, but they won't and they can't. Be the leader. Be willing to do what others will not, and you'll have a better outcome. I'm talking about getting permission. How about you get permission for your events? Property managers, landlords, that's private property, folks. And if it's public property, there may be other implications. You can't just show up and have an event in most venues. And if you're doing that, you are a nuisance, organizer. If you are doing pop-up events at scale and taking over parking lots, flash mob, and doing stupid things, I'll say it. It's what needs to be said. You're ruining the hobby. You're giving yourself a bad reputation. You're putting law enforcement on notice. You're putting property managers on notice. You're putting the community on notice. They'll kick us out. They'll definitely kick you out. For the next fellow or lady who tries to organize an event, the answer's no. You're ruining the hobby. Stop it. Do the right thing or don't do it at all. And I love you guys and I want to help you guys. And I'll be the first one to jump in and help. Someone wants to do the right thing. I'm certainly not perfect. That's why pencils have erasers. It's a pen, but pencils have erasers because none of us are perfect and we're better together. The high tide raises all ships. So let's come together, leaders in the automotive community, and lead. Do it right. Ask for help if you don't know. And I'll step forward myself. All right? I'll offer to help those that I can, or at least help you get started. And there are plenty of others. It's not about me. There are plenty of others who would want to help you do the right thing, but you want to go and do it half-assed, you're going to get the wrong, undesirable results. And none of us want that. So that's one thing. Next thing, young men and women in the hobby. I know it's hard to believe, but a lot of us who are in this hobby, lifelong, passionate hobby, we're more similar than different, folks. There's age gaps. There's generations, I know. There's the teenagers, cats in their 20s, dudes in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. There's room for all of us in this hobby. And it's not just your hobby, okay? It's our hobby. Of course, just like sports or just like music or anything else. There's different, there's different sects, different groups, different, that's sects, not sex. But anyway, in all seriousness, there's different groups within our hobby, okay, subgroups. And of course, we have some variation in interest. But young men and women, do your part. If there's a disorganized pop-up meet, you don't have to go in there as the crusader who's going to save the day. I'm not telling you to do that. There's an old saying. I'll say to you, as I would say, again, to my own kids or a friend, talk with your feet. Don't go. Doing the right thing is sometimes hard. Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday evening, the cool guys are getting together for the meet and we're showing up at the blah, blah, blah parking lot. And we're going to have 400 cars there. Ha, ha, ha. We're going to show up. We got a message going on. Nobody knows. Joke's on you if something catastrophic happens. And it's not a joke. And I hope and I pray it doesn't happen. What I'm talking about here is damage to property. Someone gets jammed up with the police. Or worse. Someone gets hurt. Or worse. Come on. Be real. And you can laugh about it, right? I know. You could take this video. You could say, we're going to do what we want to do. I hope and I pray you're okay. And I hope and I pray nothing bad happens. And I'm sincere. But if nobody else has told you lately, I'm telling you. You know why? Because someone's got to tell you. And I hope it sinks in. But if it doesn't, don't get yourself hurt. Don't get yourself jammed up with some criminal matter that'll ruin your life. It happens. You can, look at that send. Oh, he sent, man. Look at him. He got loose. Get loose. Get the slide. Yeah, okay. Until something catastrophic happens. Real talk. It's got to be said. I'm not trying to take the fun out of the hobby. Now, a couple things. I'm also not big on excuses. This can be done safely and reasonably. We all like to have fun. Okay? But stop with the excuses. Everybody. Well, there's not much for us to do in our generation. They don't provide things for us to do, so we're going to do what we're going to do. Wrong answer. Let me tell you something. There is. In, for example, the Charlotte area, the Atlanta area, in the Carolinas, in Connecticut. Pick a spot. There are private tracks. If you want to go beyond displaying your car, you want to do the quarter mile, you want to do the 8th mile, you want to get in on some hot laps. Nothing more fun. If you want that aspect of the hobby, high performance, I'm with you. And I think you should be able to pursue it. But you can't street race, and you just can't. You got to stop. You can't take over intersections, and you just can't do those things. You can't damage property. What you can do is you can run the hell out of the drag strip. Concord, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, Rockingham. Okay, just naming a couple. Atlanta Motor Speedway, Lime Rock up in Connecticut. I don't know, countless tracks across the United States. They all have events. Pageland, South Carolina. They would love to see you and your buddies show up. Friday night, Saturday night, private event. Get involved in that aspect. Is it free? Can you show up and go 140 miles an hour and raise hell in an unsafe manner? No. You got to pay a few bucks. And it's cheap. It's actually the best deal. It's better than going to a movie, in my opinion. Go run a few laps with your buddies at a track that's doing hot lap events, parade laps. Got to start somewhere, and then you go to VIR and other tracks. You get more involved. There's an expense. Hell, there's an expense if you want to go fishing. You want to go hunting, there's an expense. You want to be on a softball team, there's an expense. There's an expense to this hobby too. But you can't go out on the interstate and kill somebody or put lives at risk or kill yourself. Oh my God. Do it right, do it safe. There are plenty of venues. Don't tell me you don't understand this generation, CJ. Actually, I do. And we all do. We've been there. But stop putting property and lives in peril. Stop ruining the hobby. And I'm not talking to everybody, and I'm not just talking to one generation. Plenty of guys across the decades and generations still doing stupid things. Oh, did I say that? Did I hurt your feelings? Then I'm talking to you. Do the right thing. Be a leader. Be a leader. Be willing to do what's right. We all like to have fun. We were all your age once. Someone was my age once. Now they're super old. Listen, you know me. Those that know me know I'm a fun guy. I like to raise hell. But you got to operate in the realm of reasonable safety and thinking of others, not just yourself. We can't just think about ourselves, folks. We got to do the right thing. Stop the street racing. Stop the pop-up events. Stop the donuts and the burnouts and the full sends. I'll meet you. I'll meet you at the track, and we'll talk about full sends. Boom! Bold statement. I'm being funny. Of course I'm being funny. My reaction time is terrible. You'll smoke me on the track. Well, maybe. But in all seriousness, folks, I want to be out there with you having a good time. I want the next generation to enjoy it. I want the generations before me to enjoy it, to continue to have this thing. But I don't want you to get hurt, people. I don't want you to hurt anyone. And I sure as heck, I don't want our reputation as a hobby to get any more soiled. My ask of you, let's get together and make it better, city to city, coast to coast. Let's make the automotive hobby better this year. Let's take our reputation and everybody do their part, make it a little better. And if you see somebody running afoul, call them out. I'm not asking you to be a hero. Do the right thing. Talk to them. Have an open discussion with them. Talk with your feet. Don't go. Go to the events that do it right and shout out. Big shout outs. You ready? I want to shout out everybody who does it right. And a lot of you do it right. There are a lot of incredible events across the country, in your city, in my city, who have invested the time and the effort to do the event right. And they should be applauded. And we can learn lessons from them. And we should. So, guys, that's the key message today. Again, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. I want you to leave comments. I'll respond to all those that I can. Know that I love you and I care. Know that I love this hobby and I care. You know, my message was direct and it was intense and it was terse maybe, but it has to be said. But words aren't enough. We got to take action. We've all got to do our part to make this hobby better, to increase and enhance the reputation, to protect ourselves and our friends, and to stop doing damage to property, to the community, and again, to the hobby. Let's do the right thing. Let's have an incredible 2024 together. I'd love to talk to you. Your buddy CJ is always here to talk, to jump in, to help. That's what I'm all about. You can tell I'm passionate about this. What do you think? Hot Seat Automotive Podcast. Leave your comments. Give me a like and subscribe. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.